Well, hi, everybody. Todd Nash, President of Oregon Cattlemen's Association, here today with Matt Kennedy and Chelsea Buhmann. And we're here today to talk a little bit about the Oregon State Steer a Year program. And I want to turn it over to you guys first to introduce yourselves and where you're at, where you're from, and what you do in that capacity. So, Matt, let's start with you.
My name is Matt Kennedy. I'm a senior instructor here at OSU. I've been here since the fall of 2008, and one of my job duties involves coordinating and advising the Steer a Year program. I'm originally from Casper, Wyoming, born and raised there, and I've really enjoyed my time working with students and advising this program and getting to help hopefully develop future beef industry leaders and advocates at least, and kind of go from there. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah, my name is Chelsea Buhmann. I'm a fourth-year student at Oregon State. I'm majoring in agricultural sciences and getting a minor in agriculture education. I've been involved in Steer a Year since my freshman year in 2020, so it was a little bit difficult navigating that with the pandemic, but I've stuck with it, and Steer a Year has been an amazing program for me. It's helped me develop into a knowledgeable member of the beef industry. I'm originally from Bend, Oregon, and my family does not have deep roots in agriculture and especially not in beef production. So this program has been a really great opportunity for me to get more familiar with that part of the industry and comfortable around handling cattle and having conversations with cattlemen and women.
Well, Chelsea, let me ask you, what has been your capacity as far as what has been your jobs in Steer a Year? And then I'll turn it back over to Matt here pretty soon to further describe the program.
Yeah. So currently I'm serving as the project manager. This is my third year being on the officer team. And originally I started out as the recording officer. So my duties there were to kind of take notes of meetings and report back to members and be kind of the middleman between making sure that members know what's going on with the program itself and that the officer team is just kept up to date as well. And then last year I was the outreach coordinator. That one, we were working on planning an industry tour. So students were able to go around and see what beef production looks like outside of our program and what it looks like in the industry in surrounding areas in the state. We're working on trying to get that planned again this year with the current outreach coordinator. And then with my duties as the project manager this year, I'm just responsible for putting on meetings, helping to kind of guide the program and working closely with Matt to make sure that we have a successful program. We're getting donated calves right now, so we're getting that all organized and making sure we got guest speakers at our meeting so that students are able to connect with those people and maybe continue to make professional network connections, potential job opportunities. And so we focus a lot about the beef industry and then other areas in the ag industry as well.
Okay. And Matt, and possibly we did this a little bit backwards, but Matt, could you frame up really what the program is, what we're talking about here with Steer a Year?
Yes. So Steer a Year was actually started in 1993 by three individuals, Dr. Kelvin Kuhn, Dr. Dale Weber, and Dr. Bill Zollinger. And those three gentlemen kind of put together the foundation of the Steer a Year program, where we were getting cattle donated to the campus, brought them here, and we're just giving a hands-on opportunity for students to learn about cattle production and kind of on the feedlot aspect. As most of us know, in the state of Oregon, we're predominantly a cow-calf state with a few feedlots here and there, but for a chunk of those students, there's a chance to give them that experience and everything to get hands-on. As our student populations evolved and everything, it went from, where it's probably predominantly kids and students with experience in beef cattle to, I'd say, predominantly a good chunk of our students involved in Steer a Year don't come with any experience or very little experience of the beef cattle industry. And so they want to get more. And it's been a really good program for that to, as I call it, like I said earlier, future advocates of the beef industry and actually kind of going through and doing everything. As far as the program itself, we get cattle donated from across the state of Oregon. We're currently in that recruitment phase, and hopefully in about 2 weeks, we'll start, we'll get our first load of cattle and everything delivered here to campus, and then kind of going from there throughout the rest of November, getting cattle arriving. Students do all the feeding. They do all the vaccinations, all the animal care and everything. The only thing they don't do is clean the pens and mix the feed because of risk and liability of running tractors and moving parts and PTO shafts and all those lovely things. The university kind of just wants to make sure though no one gets injured. And so we go through handling and protocols, health protocols, stuff like that. Very hands-on. And then by the end of the school year, we'll be marketing those cattle and selling the meat. And all the proceeds that come from the meat sales actually stay with the club to help pay our bills. So we become a very self-sufficient organization for the university. So we pay our bills and we don't have to worry about taking a deficit every year. And so we make sure we pay our bills, and then whatever money's left over, it stays with the club to help with any things that those club members would like to do to help pay for trips like the industry tour trip, those type of things, or even improvements at the barn and stuff like that. Like we've used the money over the years to help make improvements like new gates and stuff like that. So we hopefully are very self-sufficient and don't have any of those issues.
Great program. And Chelsea, have you been involved at all in trying to procure some of the cattle out there for donation in your capacity? Have you done any of that?
Yeah, so a little bit before school started, Matt reached out to me. And one thing that project managers before the start of every school year, we write a donation letter that gets sent out to past donors, potential donors, just telling a little bit about the program and the qualities that we're looking for in the animals that we're asking to be donated. And so that gets sent out to the potential donors and the past donors to try and get some cattle for students to work with.
Okay. And I know it's been a big deal at Oregon Cattlemen's meetings when we have awards, and what are some of the awards that are handed out there? And I'll throw it out to either you or Matt to answer that question.
I know.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
Sorry. I know that some of the awards that I can think of off the top of my head, there's a Student Choice Award, which is always really fun, that students get to pick their favorite cow that they've had in the barn. And then I think we've also got fastest gain.
Yep, that goes to the calf that has the best average daily gains from the moment it arrives on campus to the moment we harvest it and everything. And then also we got the carcass aspect. Also, we get the best carcass merit award, the best combination of quality and yield for that calf. And it's been interesting over the years to watch as those have evolved. We have some repeat winners. You can tell that some of our donors that have been with the program, they take great pride in doing what they do, and they want to make. Like I have one donor, he goes, I always make sure I pick the best calf because I want an award every year. And so, and everything. So it becomes a little bit of a friendly competition for some of our donors that know each other, and they get into it a little bit and brag to each other. I know some of the people, they've told me that, so-and-so won that award and he wears that damn jacket and it pisses me off. And so I'm going to make sure this year I get something to show it off. So.
Yeah, no, that is fun. I see that as a great source of pride and anticipation when those awards are called out there. If somebody is interested, they've never contributed, donated before, do you take cash contributions as well as real cattle?
Yes, we do take cash contributions. And the one thing I forgot to mention, any cattle donated and cash contributions sent to the Stereo program, we actually have a foundation. We're set up with OCA Foundation, and it's all a tax write-off also. And so like just yesterday, I had a former donor that can't donate this year due to the lovely calf prices we have right now. And so he goes, I can't donate a calf because they were worth a lot of money, but I'm gonna give you some money to help pay for some expenses and everything like that. So that definitely still has that option out there. We'll use those for any type of expenses. We do buy some cattle from Oshu Soap Creek, which is just north of town, and we'll get some cattle that, so we can also see the OSU end of it. And some of the students that are active in some of the stuff, other cattle activities around campus can actually maybe see those calves from the moment they're born, like with the calving school, all the way through. They may see the same calf and kind of remember it all the way through. Or though we've had employees of OSU Soap Creek be involved and stuff like that. So,
yeah, well, very good. Is there anything else that you guys want to add today that I haven't asked a question that prompt a response to on the program?
I guess I just can't stress how beneficial this program has been for me and so many other individuals that I know. Like I said, I don't come from a deep background in agriculture, and this program has really made me feel like a valued member of an industry that I wasn't formally a part of. In February of this year, I was able to travel down to New Orleans and attend the National Cattlemen's Beef Association conference there with a couple other members, and we were able to network with professionals and explore a different part of the country and hear about aspects and topics of the beef industry that aren't necessarily covered in class or maybe even in daily conversation with industry members. So you kind of get to see what the experience is like with the hands-on opportunities that the club provides, but there's so many networking opportunities and professional development opportunities that the club offers too, that it's more than just being in the barn with the members. You can potentially get job opportunities and have the chance to travel and connect with others as well. So I think that's been really awesome.
Well, terrific response there, Chelsea. One thing, we did a video last week down in Jackson County. They have steer a year program down, or not steer a year, but calves in the classroom. And that program with those little guys and them kind of adopting a calf, having a ranch day that they get to go on a field trip and see a lot of those things firsthand where they haven't had exposure, has been terrific down there in Jackson County. And so this is just a little more of an adult type of program here at a college level. And I think it is fantastic. And I did donate 1 year ago, and I should do it again. I know that there is some consolidated efforts around to try to get trailers put together coming from Eastern Oregon and different things. And how could people tap into that so that we're not sending cattle from 400 miles away just by themselves?
That's part of what I've been working on, is coordinate those efforts. And we have a drop-off site there at Stanfield with one of our donors, Terry Anderson from Anderson Land and Livestock. And so any calves from like the Pendleton, LeGrand area have come through there. Past, like when you donated, Todd, we actually had the trailer originated out of Baker City. We had a donor that was willing to pick up calves a long way and bring them all the way to campus for us because they had family here and everything like that. And so it just gave them an excuse to come visit family and stuff. They are no longer doing it, but I actually have a former student who was a steer year member. He's giving back by being that trailer from Stanfield to here. And so and we have a Burns trailer that people can drop off cattle to EOARC Burn Station and kind of get them shipped to here and everything. And we've got that trailer lined up and everything. If people are interested, they just got to reach out to me via email, or they can call me on my office phone at 541-737-1906. And I know you or Tammy has my contact info if they're interested and stuff like that. Our Pendleton load's coming, it looks like around the 9th or 10th of November, and our Burns load will be around the 16th or 17th. And then if they're from other parts of the state, we'll work and try to find a way to get them here if the donor can't get them here themselves. We have some cattle that arrive from across the valley here in the Willamette Valley that they're just going to drop them off by themselves. Have some cattle we have one donor from Florence that donates every year, and he just called me last night. Chelsea, I just forgot to tell you this. He's going to donate 2 calves this year because and that's one thing, our donors can actually buy back the meat if they want, and he's going to buy back both of his calves to feed his family. He really believes in our program a lot, that he actually buys back his meat and everything like that. So just reach out to me and I'll try to find a trailer to get it here. I mean, just work your network is all you got to do. But I'm just thankful for everyone that's ever donated and has donated. And it doesn't matter if it's one time or constant donor. You've made a difference, whether you believe it or not. Just with that one calf donation, it definitely impacts these students and makes it better for them. And like Chelsea is a good example of it's all about them. This program's about them. It's not about me. It's not about cattle. It's about we're developing young adults. We're helping them work through skills and stuff like that and become better, more productive members of society, hopefully. So
yeah, well, I think it's a fantastic program. I've got to see the presentations, gotten to go down there and see what it looks like on campus and talk to some of the people who've contributed over the years and are faithful contributors. And I think this is just a wonderful program. And the fact that you're really gearing it toward the economic side of it too, to try to put back in and improve the facility a little bit, only lends more to the validity of it. So can't say enough good. We will put both your phone number and your email in the link here and make sure that it's accessible. And then if somebody wants to make arrangements to donate, we'll try to make it as easy as we can this year. So, yeah. And capacity wise, do you have, do you think you'll be at capacity this year based on what the donations are? Could you always take more? Where are you at with that?
as of right now, I got a text message this morning from a past donor. I think we're sitting at 20 or 21 head. We're ideally we've been the most I've ever had in the barn's been around 30 head. And that's quite a few pens to feed. They're all managed into groups of 3 to 4 calves per pen just because of the design of the barn and stuff like that. Technically, we could probably manage up to 40 head in that barn. But no offense, like to Chelsea, when you're working with college students, it's like herding cats at times. So try to make it as logical and simple as possible so that we don't impact the health of these animals negatively. And so I'm always geared for more the better, but I'm also thankful for just what we get. And I mean, if we get 1 head, that's great. If we get 2 head, that's great. The most we've ever gotten from a donor is 2 head and everything. Because yeah, these things are worth a lot of money. And that's one thing I try to drive for these students is like, you got to realize this is a truck payment for a month or 2 for some of these guys. They're giving you a truck payment or 2. You guys got to realize this is something major to them. So.
Yeah, it is a big deal, but I think it's money well spent. So with that, if there's anything else you'd want to add, last chance at it. Otherwise, we'll call it a day and really appreciate you getting on here. Matt, I really appreciate your leadership there. Orlando Grant University, I think you're doing exactly what we would like to see done in a program down there. Chelsea, you're well spoken, and we're glad you got exposure, and we can see you as being a bright star into the future and advocating for ag. So, with that, you guys have a good day, and we'll be visiting with you soon, and see you at convention most likely.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.